let's start with this. This is an opinion. I want your opinion on this retarded statement from this idiot right here. We got a Disney stan. I always take every chance I can to piss on a Disney Star Wars stan. You know this. It's
really?
Yeah. I know.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shocking.
Dre, you're an old man like me. You were there. You know what real Star Wars looks like. You know the thoughts on it from the beginning. And Jed, you are educated. We can say that. He says
I pretend to be.
He says this. Talking about Luke, young Anakin, and then using them to try and justify Moray. Using the Force to guide a proton torpedo with inherent power in one lesson. Relying on the Force for fast reflexes to pilot with only inherent power. Opening up to the Force and landing a couple of blows on an opponent in a lightsaber duel with only inherent power. It works. All right. This whole thing falls apart with his initial statement. Luke didn't guide the proton torpedoes into the Death Star. It used the Force for the right moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because in A New Hope, if you watch in release order, not chronological order, but release order, Force telekinesis wasn't a thing yet in A New Hope.
That's correct.
But this moron's trying to create bullshit excuse that.
Even without it being in chronological order, we see, or in a release order, we see in Empire Strikes Back, him struggling to get the lightsaber into his hand in a life and death situation.
Right.
If he's struggling that much about one little piece of metal that's a foot away, there's no way that months before or a year before, he would be able to take control of 2 photon torpedoes in the middle of a space battle. Like, that's just unrealistic. And then it falls apart with the other statements as well. But we have evidence to say, even without the notion that telekinesis wasn't a thing yet in the universe, we still have in-universe stuff that contradicts this.
Yeah. I mean, Dre, you were there just like I was.
Yeah.
This has never been a thing to say that he guided the proton torpedoes.
No,
never.
It was about relying on a force that you do not understand because technology wasn't enough. When the original Star Wars was even being put together, this was like essentially trying to rely on in certain religious acts as Holy Spirit, as it were, if you were a Christian or if you were somebody of Israeli beliefs, a spirit that you do not completely comprehend, but it's a force that is higher than your own. And that was the idea behind shooting the proton torpedoes. And that's why the first set had failed when the first run went. But he had to really put the technology away and to rely on a force that he just started to believe in to give themselves the opportunity. So this person, whoever this person is,
this is Stan. This is a full-on Stan.
Yeah, they're huffing paint and don't know their history.
And you combine it with the fact also that he also practiced shooting at targets that size in Beggar's Canyon.
That's correct. That is correct.
Well, yeah, that applies to both him and Anakin. They both have experience in related fields. Anakin was a pod racer, which is, I think, a problem, but we'll take it as face value that he was a pod racer. And so, yeah, he trained in high-tense situations where his reflexes would make or break the race and his life. Luke shooting small moving targets from a ways away. Like, there's a foundation to these skill sets that are just slightly enhanced by the Force. Exactly. Rey has zero foundation in even a related skill to make a Force enhancement make sense, especially because she's going up against someone who is trained in the use of the Force. These other two aren't going against people who are trained in the Force. By this point, Vader's already gone. Han already took care of Vader at this point, so he's not competing against someone who has the same abilities but is far more trained. And Anakin, he's fighting a bunch of droids. They're not exactly known for being smart in the prequels, but Kylo, at least as it's portrayed, was trained by Luke Skywalker at his prime, and then by Snoke through Palpatine and whatever. But that's person of training. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
none of that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, and this is Stan mentality, though. They will warp, they will twist, they will pervert anything to try and find a shaky leg to stand on to support their sequel trilogy bullshit. This is why we're winning. This is one of the most pathetic attempts at bolstering Moray as a significant Force wielder right away to defend her Force download. This is one of the most pathetic I've ever seen. And this is a guy who in the past said, I don't care what you think of my opinion. I love that. He's one of those. But will then also try and do this shit.
Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.